Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Flora Ani. Our top stories. President Tinubu lands in Brazil for state visit. House of Representatives laws Kaduna state government over healthcare funding. Aspirant cautions governor against intimidation. 10,000 housing units in progress, says Dangoa. From the foreign scene, Ukraine marks Independence Day with strikes on Russia. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu arrived in Brasilia as he continues his scheduled state visit to strengthen diplomatic and economic ties with Brazil. Tinubu was received by senior Brazilian government officials, including Ambassador Carlos Sergio Sobral Jut and Ambassador Carlos José Arias Moreno Gasset, Brazil's ambassador to Nigeria at the Brasilia Air Base. Following his arrival, Tinubu was also greeted by Nigeria's Ministry of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ojukwu. An official welcoming ceremony with full military honors to welcome Tinubu takes place at the Planalto Palace, after which Tinubu meets privately with Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, the President of the Federative Republic of Brazil. The Kaduna state government has been commended for consistently allocating more than 15% of its annual budget to the health sector. Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Health Services, Honorable Amos Gwamna Magaji, gave the commendation during a courtesy call on Deputy Governor Dr. Hadiza Balarabe at Kashim Ibrahim House. He noted that Kaduna's budgetary allocation aligned with the Abuja Declaration and expressed delight that the funds are being backed with timely cash releases, describing it as a clear demonstration of seriousness in healthcare financing. Honorable Magaji also applauded the state for ranking top in healthcare delivery in Nigeria last year, highlighting its progress in strengthening human capital development. However, he raised concern over the persistently high rate of maternal mortality nationwide, describing the trend as unacceptable. Responding, Deputy Governor Dr. Hadiza Balarabe reaffirmed Kaduna State's commitment to human capital development and reducing maternal death. She described the loss of women during childbirth as unfortunate and urged the National Assembly to consider providing specialized ambulances for hard-to-reach areas as part of national interventions. An Ekiti State governorship aspirant under the All Progressive Congress, Engineer Kayode Ojo, has cautioned the state governor Biodun Oyebanji against clamping down on aspirants and forcing loyalty on party members. Ojo's criticisms follows a stern warning by the governor to wait chairman and members of the All Progressive Congress not to host or entertain aspirants opposing his re-election bid in their wards and localities. Speaking in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, Engineer Ojo, represented by consultative team lead Olukayode Oluyemo, described the governor's actions as intimidation and harassment of party members. Oluyemo urged the APC National Executive Council to step in and check the governor's behavior to avoid internal party discord.
It was in Engineer Kayode Ojo's camp. This threat is not only ludicrous but also vexatious and aptly demonstrates to all and sundry that the governor intends to turn the APC into his private freedom and family inheritance. We wish to remind Mr. Governor that APC belongs to all of us, and it is on record that Engineer Kayode Ojo, a committed party man and prominent party member, has spent a fortune to nurture APC to an enviable height in Ekiti State. We also plead with our father, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the national leadership of our great party to caution Governor Biodun Oyebanji against ordering the arrest, harassment, and maiming of APC members in the state. The forthcoming primary election is not a do-or-die affair.
To me, it's a violation of our party's constitution. Article 9.3 of the APC constitution is very clear on this issue. Members of the party are free to associate and to hold meeting with any aspirant in as much that they belong to the same party. We are all members of APC. I don't see why the governor is violating this constitution of the party. It's our party. So we are calling on the national ESCO of our party in Abuja to caution him so that we will not destroy APC.
In a concerted effort to fulfill its statutory mandate imposed in nation of substandard and falsified medicinal product, the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria sealed 486 premises for contravening relevant regulations, including 69 pharmacies, 127 patent medicine stores, and 290 unlicensed shops in Niger State. This is coming after a week-long rigorous enforcement exercise where 172 premises comprising 136 pharmacies and 536 patent medicine stores were inspected, with one individual arrested for obstructing PCN inspectors in the discharge of their duties. 23 other premises were served with compliance directives necessitating corrective actions to address identifying non-compliances, led by the head of enforcement of the council, Suleiman Shiroma. The week-long enforcement exercise, according to him, is strategically focused on core areas of pharmaceutical practice, premises and personnel to ensure compliance with the minimum standards for quality assurance as mandated by the PCN Establishment Act 2022 and pertinent regulations and guidelines.
Consequently, a total of 486 premises were sealed for contravening relevant regulations, including 69 pharmacies, 127 patent medicine stores, and 290 unlicensed shops. Furthermore, 23 premises were served with compliance directive, necessitating corrective actions to address identified non-compliance.
Other offences found out are stock holding in excess of approved limit as stipulated in the patent medicine list, training of apprentices and wholesalers indulging in retail operations in contravention of their licensure terms.
Key areas of emphasis include adherence to professional ethics, maintenance of a controlled environment to safeguard the quality and potency of medicinal products, and assessment of the competency levels of personnel involved in pharmaceutical practice.
The Council therefore urges the public to be vigilant about the outlets from which they source their medicines to avoid the risks associated with patronizing unqualified persons, adding that genuine pharmacies can be identified by the prominent display of their current licenses within their premises, and the public is advised to look out for these critical indicators of legitimacy. We take a pause here. News stories from the Build sector are up next. Stay with us.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the Build sector. Minister of Housing and Urban Development Ahmed Dangiwa has marked his second year in office with what he described as bold reforms that are transforming Nigeria's housing sector, reporting over 10,000 housing units already on the way across 14 states and the FCT since his appointment in 2023. Dangiwa has spearheaded what the ministry describes as a historic reset of the sector. Under the Renewed Hope agenda, bold reforms and practical solutions are being rolled out to directly tackle systemic challenges and deliver results in record time. A key focus has been Nigeria's housing deficit, conservatively estimated at over 17 million units, where the ministry launched the Renewed Hope Housing Program, a three-tier model comprising cities, estate and social housing. In just 2 years, over 10,000 housing units have been commenced across 14 states and the FCT. To address urban decay and deteriorating slums, the ministry has also implemented the National Urban Renewal and Slum Upgrade Program, which has already transformed more than 150 communities nationwide with rehabilitated roads, drainage systems, clean water, solar power, schools, and health care centers. The Nigerian Institution of Builders in Facilities Management has called for a collective approach from structural engineers, construction consultants, architects, and quantity surveyors in construction projects to end building collapse in the country. They further emphasized the need for qualified professionals and adherence to building codes while engaging in construction processes. The national chairman of Nigerian Institution of Builders in Facility Management, Akpache Ndao, made the call at its 4th Facilities Managers Conference tagged FM Revolution in Nigeria Stakeholders' Role. At the conference, Ndao said the program was to reawaken the consciousness of citizens on the need for proper facilities management and maintenance. Ndao therefore noted that the evolution of facility management in Nigeria has transformed significantly, driven by various factors such as urbanization, technological advancement, and changing workplace dynamics. From the foreign scene, Ukraine launched a wave of drone strikes on Russia on Sunday, triggering a fire at a nuclear power plant as it celebrated Ukrainians' Independence Day against a backdrop of fading hopes for recent peace efforts. The latest fighting came as Ukraine marked the anniversary of gaining independence in 1991 after the breakup of the Soviet Union. After a flurry of diplomacy and a push by U.S. President Donald Trump to broker a summit between his Russian and Ukrainian counterparts, the prospect for peace appeared to stall on Friday, where Russia ruled out any immediate meeting between Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky. Ukraine hit back by sending drones on fresh attacks on Russian territory, including one that was shot down over the Kursk nuclear power plant in western Russia, which detonated upon impact and sparked a fire, according to the facility. Russian authorities said Ukrainian drones had also been shot down over areas sometimes far from the front, including St. Petersburg in the northwest. That's the most we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. President Tinubu lands in Brazil for state visit. House of Reps lost Kaduna State government over health care funding. Aspirant cautions governor against intimidation. 10,000 housing units in progress, says Danyawa. From the foreign scene, Ukraine marks Independence Day with strikes on Russia. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Flora Ani. Bye for now.